Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are coming down to the final about week and a half of the map here before we are thinking about switching over to a different multiplayer map. So this is actually going to be our final harvest that is going to go towards topping off our pigs, because I figure that by the time we close out the map, the pigs will have basically eaten up the food that's in the troughs. Hey, Venom, Damian, James, and Chris Mason, Edgar Bailey. What's up, everybody? Got a couple fields of corn tonight to harvest and a barley field. Then we're going to flip those, and then, like I said earlier, what we're going to flip them is whatever we harvest on those fields are going to go straight for profit. Hey, Sean. Been slowly trying to work off a pretty sizable loan that we took out. We bought an extra field, or an extra 2 fields, and then we purchased some larger equipment, larger tractor, larger cultivator and plow to help work those fields. Well, Damien, this multiplayer server isn't open. We're running what I call an economy game, where basically we have 8 farms on the map, and all the farms basically have their own farmers running with their own money and everything. Now we do have a community server that is open, but this particular server is not that way. I wonder if there is a slurry texture for plowed.
I do believe there is. Mav went through and slurried some of his plowed fields, and if I remember right, it did have one.
So I saw that the tractor that we're using got an update today, but it appears that in the update, if you have the front forks, can't have a 3-point hitch. So it's like they took that combination availability away. Like, that's no good.
It's a great tractor. For its cost, it could do everything.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to have to make a choice between front loader arms and a 3-point link in the front. So like in the original version, you don't have to make that choice. Hey, Rockhound, what is up? There we go. We'll just do a little in-cab harvesting. It's nice and quiet that way. Hey, Tanya, welcome back. Hey, DK Slide. How y'all doing? Rubber burner, what are you doing? Finally got your finally got into playing some 19. Saw some of your posts. Cranking out the editor, I hear. Top Secret. Now that was a good movie. You ever seen that movie, Top Secret? Did you ever watch that movie, Top Secret?
I don't know if I have. It doesn't ring a bell.
It's one of those, I don't know if you call it slapstick comedies. It's just stupid comedy. It's about this. Basically, the premise is there is this guy who like basically sings, but he basically sings like Elvis songs, I think. And he basically goes to Germany, but they basically ask him to be like a German a spy, and like it's just completely dumb. So there's like this scene where there's these two guys in a cow outfit, and well, a male cow gets a little frisky with the female cow, and they're in the female cow outfit, and the poor guy in the back gets his back broken, and he just walks around like with this stair step back for half the movie. It's just funny. It's got a Val Kilmer a long time ago in it. He's the singer guy. It's got this French guy. His name is Chocolate Mousse.
Yeah, that really doesn't ring a bell. I don't think I've seen that, but it sounds funny.
Hey CJ, what's up? It's Genetic J. We got all kinds of fun folks out here. Hey Darren.
So how'd that cat work out the other day, harvesting the other fields?
It worked out pretty good. I used it to cultivate, and then I think I used it to seed too. With Roy's help, we were able to flip all 4 or 5 of them. He's got some pretty big equipment he brought over. Basically, he was done whatever he needed to be done in the time it took me to harvest the next field.
Yeah, he said he was going to set up a contracting business, going around and helping everybody out with bigger equipment.
Yeah, so I basically harvested the canola fields. He harvested the oat field across the road. He cultivated, slurried, and planted all the other fields, basically while I was harvesting. So when I got done the last harvested field, I basically went up, connected to the planter, and started planting soybeans and sunflowers across the street where the oats were. And then he was done. He was done everything, and I was like, "Are you done already?" And yeah. So $6,000 for labor and seed, and called it good. A concerned buyer of this product. What's up?
I'm glad it all worked out.
Yeah, it definitely worked. Take a shortcut. Shortcut. Oh, I can't see. Where are we going? Just gotta guess. Just gotta guess, I guess. Hey, Chad. How you doing tonight? Oh, that's good to hear. Well, I tell you, when I saw Giants put out some greenhouses, I decided I might as well set the Farmer Andy greenhouses up to go out. That was scheduled for later in the week. But I figured if I let it air on Friday when it was scheduled, I figured half the comments I get would basically be, well, why didn't you do the Giants greenhouses at the same time? And it's like, well, they weren't out when I recorded the video. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Just got this occasional nagging cough. Usually it's a result of just getting dry. He did. You are correct. Stevie went and then released 6 greenhouses of his own. Looks like he basically tweaked the Giants greenhouses to do his typical 6 crops. The lettuce, tomatoes, melons, pumpkins, red cabbage, and cauliflower. Yeah, the Farmer Andy ones required 1.3. Yeah, it made me wonder if... Oh, we're going to need to unload. It made me wonder if maybe something that was in the 1.3 update was needed for the greenhouses to work. That's why we didn't get greenhouses before now. Because... I mean, some of the posts that Stevie had put out sounded like as if he had been working on the greenhouses and he was kind of waiting to release them. And the speed at which he was able to basically put these out and everything just makes me wonder if maybe there is something inherent in 1.3 that was needed. So the Stevie greenhouses, let's see if I still have the link. There's the Stevie greenhouses. The greenhouses I did a video on earlier today. Link is in that video. But Stevie's greenhouses pay a fortune. Oh my god, you can just get rich just running greenhouses. So when the Farmer Andy greenhouses came out on, what was it over the weekend? I downloaded them and I went to try them and I couldn't get them to work because I was running 1.2. And basically, I was talking with somebody that communicates with Farmer Andy on a regular basis about them. Basically saying, "Hey, did you test these?" Because he sometimes tests his stuff. He said he hadn't tested them. I told him what was going on for me, and he asked me if I was running the patch or not. And I told him I wasn't. And he thought maybe they were requiring 1.3, which they were. Yeah, they work now that you got 1.3. They'll work. Hey, Raznik, what's up? Hey, did you ever get those soybeans harvested? And we could probably bring our harvester over there and help you out. Let's see. Looks like they still need harvesting. Hey, Mike. I do not have any idea about the factory scripts as far as a timetable or anything like that. You want to windrow this straw or scatter it to the wind?
I don't think we really need it, do we?
No, it'd just be if we want to go to the act of selling it.
I'd just assume chop it up, leave it there.
From the Stevie mod, no, the Stevie greenhouses come in one pack, one zip. I mean, you don't have to use them all, obviously. Well, so far this corn header doesn't seem to run aground other than kind of on that bumpy road.
Yeah, last week while you were gone, it was hitting all the time, and don't know why. I didn't have that problem the first week.
Did you see the bee houses? The bee house that came out today? That thing looks real nice.
I saw one out on the mod site. I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about.
It was a bee house. It was. It's got a bunch of colored bee boxes.
I didn't download it to take a look at it yet.
No. It was a bee house, and it was on one of the other mod sites. It's guaranteed it's the Giants one. They love to scarf up Giants mods as soon as they show up. Some of the mods I download or some of the mods you download? When you say you, do you mean you as in you the individual or you as in me? But there could be a couple reasons why they don't show up. One is maybe the mod you downloaded is a mod within a zip file, a zip within a zip. So sometimes people will put a zip file in another zip file, or they'll have multiple zips within one zip that you have to download, and then in those cases you need to unzip it and put the individual zip files in your mod folder. It may be you downloaded a Farm Sim 17 mod and you're trying to use that in 19 and that won't work. It could be that the mod itself is flat out just broken, and obviously that's why it doesn't work. It could be the person that zipped the file up didn't know what they were doing and zipped a folder so that the zip has a folder in it as opposed to the right files. But typically if you look at the game log, it will give you some hints as to what might be going on. I don't know of any helicopter that's released for 19. Genetic, you might like the map that I'm going to try to release a video on tomorrow. Called, what is it called? Field Mountain. It's a Swiss map. It's got a bunch of very odd shaped fields. Not a bunch. It's got some odd shaped fields. It feels very, very rural and country. Hey, Battery H. That's somebody I haven't seen in months. Feels like months. We'll just download it from... just go to my video and download it from there. It's over at PCSG. Guaranteed to have no problems downloading it from there. Yeah, Swiss Touch has promise. Oh, look, it's Lone Stalk. I remember we were playing multiplayer on the Valley of the Old Farm, and in a field of something, let's say it was a field of soybeans, there was one lonely stalk of corn in the field. And it wasn't even at the edge. It was like 20 feet into the field. I have no idea where it came from. Called it Lone Stalk or something like that. That was after Lone Oak came out. No, we're on multiplayer, so course play doesn't work. We are using guided steering. FarmSim 19's course play. Or not course play, GPS. And if I wasn't lazy, I would put my head tracking on, but, well, I didn't feel like doing that. Fold that up. Oh, man. Seriously? $200 of corn left. Alright, let's go switch the head, empty this corn out, and then we're going and harvest our barley. If you haven't downloaded the latest version, go download the latest version. Rasden, that's going to be like a year from now, probably. I know I was doing. I was using the development version of Courseplay in early 2017, and I don't think it showed up in the Mod Hub until 2018. Now, they kept adding features to the 2017 version. I suppose they could keep adding features to the 19 version also. Now, I can tell you that I typically only ever use Courseplay to do field work. I mean, I know how to make it do all the other fun jazzy things, but inevitably I end up just driving to the fields. I set it to do stuff. I go off, do something else. I end up driving things to the sell points. I don't know. It's just the way I am. I know there's other people that basically barely ever do anything and just tell Courseplay to do everything. If that's how that's how they want to farm, that's fine with me. Alrighty. Scatter straw to the wind. Good, we're already scattering. Is it, hey, Zinkin Streak, what's up? Well, yeah, that would be something if Courseplay wouldn't end up driving off a cliff for no apparent reason. I think it's pretty much always going to need to be babysat. You know, it's the way I have used it in the past is just on things that I would rather not do, field work wise. You know, I might decide that I'd rather not just mow the grass and just have it mow the grass and have it rake and bale, and then I can just drive around and pick up the bales, type of a thing. Here comes Roy. I thought Roy was going to be gone for like a week. Silver, did it start with the update? Go in to your shader cache folder and delete your shader cache files, and then let it rebuild.
Hey Raz, how you doing?
What's up? What's up? We can bring a harvester down there and do some beans. Yeah, I'm sure our harvester's not near as big as yours.
I don't
Oh, well, I guess you would need some assistance.
I've been borrowing everyone's equipment.
You're talking about all this money you rolled in on your first soybean harvest. Still bumming equipment off of people.
I had to pay back bank loans, They get theirs first. Yeah, with only having a couple of weeks left, I didn't want to buy a bunch of stuff. There's plenty of equipment around that people said I could use.
Yeah. So you want to see a group of guys just being completely crazy. You need to go check out the SimStation's Twitch archive from the other day, where him, Roy, and two other folks were badly playing Badlands. It was awful, but it was funny at the same time.
Check it out. I was playing Apex Legends the other day. It's fun. It's a fun game. It's stressful.
They would be on a mission, and then they would see something else, and like, oh, what's this other mission over here? And the next thing you know, half their group's going over there to try that one. And so I was like, oh, this is like Badlands ADD style.
That'd be perfect.
They're standing around getting ready for a mission, and then SimStation gets shot. It's like, who shot me?
Hey, where's the plow at?
Check on the other side of the fence by those trees.
Okay.
Because I had to plow and the roller all together.
Yep.
And then I realized I didn't need to plow that field, so I just dropped it.
Oh, okay.
tell you what's been fun is Division 2. It's the first time I played it was today. It's kind of, I got it free, but the way they give the free code with AMD, like you can't give it away. It's weird.
Oh, it's somehow tied to your
Yeah, it's tied
account.
To my, yep.
I got a free code to Division 1 if anybody's interested.
I might get that, play it. But if I like 2, I might try 1 out first. There's Roy.
Once we're done as barley harvest, you can use our harvester. I think he has for now. Yeah, I think Seasons basically broke the game for lots of players. That's my general impression, is that Seasons gameplay really made the stock gameplay to lots of people just unimpressive and too repetitive and just not interesting. Battery H says Division 1 had a better story but worse gameplay.
Oh no, I jumped in Division 2. It's pretty fun. I like that post-apocalyptic stuff.
So CJ, that would be vehicle inspect, which is what we've got up there in the upper right or the upper left corner.
It's kind of weird seeing Washington D.C. and ruins, though.
If you hire a helper, basically you'll see the helper up there, and you'll see if they have a. You'll see basically. Watch, I'm going to hire a helper here. You'll see where I'm in the 5.90. If I hire a helper and get out, you can see it now says H.
Roy brings the big roastal mash over
H
here.
for helper.
He's
You
got
can
the
see
big
it's
dog.
barley. You can see the field percentage and everything. You really keep track of your helpers and stuff. It's a vehicle inspector. It's over at modhoster.de. So in single player, it'll show you and any hired helpers you've got. In multiplayer, it will show you and anyone else that's on your farm doing stuff. I told him that harvester was our harvester of choice on Riverview.
I mean, yeah, it's, if you don't like header trailers, it's the cheapest one you can get that doesn't have a header trailer, right?
Yeah, it's not on gangway like those big ones. Thanks, Genetic. What would I do without awesome mods,
Yeah,
moderators?
Harvester, when you're done with it, or you guys don't have anything to do. Somebody wants to come over.
Done that way. Let's go this way. Well, I think it's always been more simulator than, or more arcade than simulator.
I still owe the bank
I mean, I don't know. My only experience is with Farm Sim 17. Farm Sim 19 feels more simulator than 17 vanilla. You know, but I think lots of people really felt that seasons should and could have been in the base game for 19, and feel that maybe Giants wasted their time with the dog, and maybe the horses, and maybe other things that were less important to them than maybe trying to incorporate seasons or something. You know, they tried and they started to incorporate a gearbox, but then stopped, basically failed that endeavor. But there's code in there for a rudimentary gearbox. Just didn't really get fleshed out. If you look at those two numbers above my fuel gauge, the top number that's blue, purple, or whatever it is, that's def or AdBlue. That's a diesel additive to reduce the smoke and I guess make it more cleaner burn. That's in the base game. Now there's no.
I'm excited for that next map.
There's no AdBlue.
It's gonna be fun.
In the base game, you just get it when you put diesel in. But to some degree, it's there if someone makes an AdBlue mod to fuel your tractors with AdBlue separate. To some degree, it's kind of already there. Yeah, I'm excited and eager to give that a go.
Yeah, I think if I can get people to buy it from me, my plan is just to make animal food, pig food, and TMR. Just sell it in bulk.
Well, my goal is to own no fields and basically contract out with other farmers to grow corn for me with BGA.
Yep.
I figure I'll have to pay them a decent royalty for them to use their land for my crop. So I got to pay them well enough that they're not losing money. I was telling Roy in the other day when we were harvesting the other stuff that some of the folks on the server, on this server, or they're going to be on that server even, they take things a whole lot more serious than I do. They go out and they test things and they try different strategies to figure out what strategy they want to use. And I tell Roy, I don't know, I just pick something I want to do and I wing it. It works or it doesn't.
Yep.
You've got a good point there, Rubber Burner.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if we can put a universal sell point in the event that nobody wants to buy my animal food. I can still stick to my plan,
Hey, Anthony, what's up? It's called Guidance Steering. It's still in development. It's over at GitHub. I did a how-to on it. Basically how to get it, how to use it. John, are you talking about my BGA plan, Jonathan? Leasehold? I'm not familiar with that terminology. Oh, it's getting dark. Okay, well, I don't know what leasehold is. I've not heard of that before, but what I'm thinking of doing is I've got to come up with a good price per hectare. Or per acre, whatever way you want to measure it. And basically, contract out with a farmer, and basically let's pretend 25,000 is a good price. Okay, I don't know right now. Let's say I'm going to pay you $25,000 a hectare to plant corn for me, the BGA owner, to work the land, plant the corn, fertilize it, care for it, nurture it, you know, all the fun jazz. And then when the crop's ready to harvest,
it's the dragon.
I'm going to roll in with my harvester and basically harvest the crop for my bunkers. And the way I was going to do it is I was going to pay the farmer 50% up front. So let's pretend we did 30,000 because it's easy to divide. So I would pay you 15,000 up front, and then when the crop's ready to harvest, I would pay you the other 15,000. But if it wasn't two-stage fertilized, if it wasn't plowed, if there were weeds in it, then there would be certain percentages that would be deducted from the final payment. So in the end, if you did everything right, you would get $30,000 per hectare for growing corn for me. I would get the chaff, I'd put it in my bunkers, then I'd basically sell the silage, and then that would be my profit. And I'd like to be able to run it that way so that we're forcing player interaction with each other as opposed to the BGA just owning a half dozen fields and basically doing their own little thing.
You're hiding, Miles.
There's the dragon.
What are you doing, Dragon?
Doing all right.
So the other day I kept calling, we got a guy on the server, his name's Stainless. Kept calling him Silver. Mostly because, you know, I was thinking stainless steel and it kind of looks silverish. But then I was thinking about good old Silver Dragon. Because Stainless is always on the server. Like, every time I jump in, he's in the server. He's in now, he's just, I don't know where he is. Kind of like how in 17, whenever Silver Dragon was playing on the server, he basically pretty much guaranteed he's going to be in. Yes, field 2.
So did you see that Reddit post that I put where the guy tested yield loss as the harvester aid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the header doesn't do anything, just messes with the speed, but you actually lose yield if the harvester gets too old or out of repair.
I thought Sealy P did some tests where he did that. I know he did a test where he did header age, but I thought maybe he also did a test with harvester age too. Maybe not. I don't know. Saw we repaired the harvester before we started harvesting the crop today.
Yeah, maybe that was test from the 1.3 beta. I don't know. I have to look back at the article and see if it said.
See, they didn't fix the light transitions.
I thought they were supposed to do that.
It's getting dark and nice stair steps.
The sound. I don't know if you've noticed the sound.
Yeah, I think I know what mod messed my game up.
Oh, what's that?
The that player action cam, I think that's the one that's messing me up.
Oh, I do know that I'd had an issue with manual attach. This morning it didn't want to let me save. I'd hit save, then I hit quit, and it says, "Do you want to quit without saving?" I think it's just saved. So I hit save again, and I hit quit. "Do you want to quit without saving?" And I looked at the log, and I had a whole bunch of luas about vehicle attach. So I took manual attach out.
But I noticed, like on the harvesters right now, when you're going downhill, your sound doesn't cut out. Remember how when you're going downhill, like the engine sound would cut in and out? Maybe they fixed that. It seems like it's a little louder in cab now too. Because before in cab, I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, I need to check on that old truck. That old truck was just silent. I don't know. I mean, sound never really bothered me. I didn't really spend much time wasting on it. Then again, I know some people play with headphones, so they're obviously more tuned to the sound because it's louder in their ears. I typically play with just PC speakers, and usually they're not all that loud to begin with, because I don't want the PC speakers to be loud to the point where they're coming over the mic of the headset. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, it was set to the, yeah, it's probably too wide. Oops. Oops, we got full. I don't think I changed it with the, I don't think I changed it with the header. 5.5 meters, yeah. There we go. You know, I think this is the same. I think this is the dirt road that's on. Just not the same. The dirt road that's on the South American map. I don't know. That would explain why I was leaving little bits, wouldn't it? The header was too wide.
New steering control. I really like that.
What's that?
You can adjust how responsive the vehicle steering is. So like if you want your wheels to turn slower, you can adjust it now.
Yeah, you could do that on base game when it first came out.
I remember the steering kickback was there, but I don't remember steering control. Yeah, because there's steering back speed, and now there's steering sensitivity.
Okay, that must be a new part. I must be thinking about the first one you were saying.
It's nice for keyboard players.
Steering speed. Steering sensitivity is just the steering speed. I saw CLEP do a video where he set it to 200 and it was like instantaneous. You turn the wheel a little bit and it's instant pop.
Yep.
It's like instant lock in either direction at 200%.
Yeah, I have to play around with it because each vehicle's different. I wish there was a hotkey that would program.
I'm crooked. I was like, why am I?
Because it seems like on
let's just cut across the field.
Like tractors and harvesters, I slow it down, but like on the trucks and I can't remember what else I was using. It was just that Dodge Ram mod, and then
I never locked
big,
it in.
Semi trucks, so I have to speed it up.
Oh, I deleted the course somehow. How did I do that?
So, of course, it's not per vehicle. It's just a global setting.
There we go. That was funny.
Well, I use that keyboard steering mod, and the one thing I don't like is those hook lifts that don't even use that.
It doesn't work with the hook lifts?
Nope. Couple of hook lift trucks that I've downloaded that you did a couple of mod reviews on. I've tried those, and it won't recognize the
Yeah, so that was the issue that I had brought up past. The hook lift vehicle is not a registered vehicle according to keyboard steer.
Oh, it's not like a. Like, let's pretend a vehicle is a truck. It's not listed as a truck. It's listed as something else.
Yeah.
So, like, custom modding 9R was like that. Where it didn't have a vehicle type of tractor. It had like a vehicle type of 9R or something. So Horseplay was blowing chunks with it. And some other things.
Yeah, so all the hook lift trucks, well, a lot of them are their type is hook lift and not one of the base game types. So keyboard steer don't know what to do with it.
So if you look at a truck that works in the XML, you set the vehicle type on the hook lift to be the same, then it may or may not fix it. Of course, it might break other things.
Yeah, I think it'll break the ability to do the hook lift.
Well, I'm not sure who it was, but I think somebody had said that the hook lift trucks are more like the trailers. They're just self-propelled now. Kind of idea.
Oh, that would be cool. I know I liked his. I know I liked his stuff in 17.
Yeah, they should be able to go through into the keyboard steer scripting and add like the hook lift truck vehicle type. That way, keyboard steer recognizes it as a valid vehicle.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think the modder who did all that basically's abandoned it all.
Yeah, I think he quit it.
Rage quit's the term that comes to mind for me.
Keyboard steer?
Yeah. He was the guy that had the fit that the guy that did Enhanced Vehicle put, some common functionality in. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard there was some drama between those two.
We'll be done our harvester in a moment.
I'm in one and Roy's in one, but if somebody wants to jump down here.
You got two already.
Yeah.
Get two from.
Staying.
Hour and 10 minutes. Oh, you guys we're gonna be done the stream right before.
I like the hook lift trucks.
We're gonna be done right before we jump to morning.
It's just that not being able to do the reverse manually,
Well, if you're just using it for shuttle control, then there's other things that have shuttle control.
There's vehicle control added on. Does the shuttle control, 4-wheel drive, all that stuff.
Well, VCA is keyboard steer. It's the newer version of it.
Or is it enhanced vehicle? I can't remember.
Enhanced vehicle is the one that does the. That's what we got on here.
That's what.
Hey, DBA or David B, what's up? Silly helper.
Some of these hills are brutal.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be the last harvest that we do for the pigs. Any harvest we do after this is going to go straight for profit. Let's get this out of the way before that hired worker complains about us being in his way. I don't know. I think as far as I know, the CEO and all that is still the founder is the guy that came up with the concept. I think it's still a pretty good core group. I remember watching a video in 17, or during way back when 17 was the one that was out. That kind of basically talked about where it all came from, the whole idea, the whole process. Let's see here. Are our pigs full? Yep, our pigs are full of everything. Let's go ahead and bring this up. I need to come down here and slurry. Oh, another lighting jump. Because we want to get these fields flipped over. Get something planted in them tonight. And I was saying that
I was hoping was it old streams would come out this week, but I guess I got kicked back, or I don't know.
That's my thought.
I didn't see anything in their Discord. I didn't see BSM post anything. So.
Go. Oh, look, we can turn our lights on and off with the engine off.
I'm glad that was fixed.
It's the little things that count. I still wish you couldn't offload without the engine on.
All right.
Unless you can do that in real life. Can you empty a harvester without the engine on?
Oh, no. Well, I mean, technically you could. It involves a shovel and a guy climbing in the green tank. I don't know which tractor I was in that had the glow-in-the-dark bolts.
Or one big ass can opener.
Right.
So I was mentioning at the start of the stream that I saw this tractor got an update. This little Doots. But apparently in the update, they took the ability for you to have front hitch, or front 3-point and loader arm hitch. It's either one or the other now.
Oh, that sucks.
Like, oh, I don't know if I like that.
That's like changing a 3-bedroom house into a 2-bedroom house.
Well, there's got to be some kind of downside to that tractor, though.
Otherwise, everybody will use it all the time.
I think he added some other things. I know it's color selectable now. I don't know. Apparently it's quieter. But,
Quieter. Would you make a farm sim vehicle quieter?
it could be like the pickup truck that's like silent.
Oh, that's cool, stainless.
Where was this darn thing?
I'm still trying to figure out what the balance, the changes to the game balance. I love how they just generically said they did some balance improvements to the game. I haven't found anything yet. Wonder if they fixed that fertilizer thing.
Well, I think some of it may be like either animal reproduction rates or animal production, or gee, it would be nice if they didn't eat so much. You know, if it didn't take half the map to feed 100 cows. Or maybe the sale prices were changed a little bit. Contract pricing could be modified a little bit. I mean, with 1.2, playing on hard mode, start from scratch, and really starting from scratch, I mean, that was a massive grind. Because you didn't have much, couldn't buy much farmland because you didn't have much money. And it took a lot of small equipment to work it. Which then meant your money from your crop sales was low. And you didn't get a whole ton of money from working contracts on hard. So it really took a while to earn money. Maybe they balanced some of that a little bit compared to easy, which is like you sell one bale of hay and you're rolling in $10,000.
I do like the greenhouses and the bee house. That's cool. I added that for.
Speaking of hay, are we to expect windrows now to all be the same color?
I think that's a mod map problem.
Is it?
think.
Yeah, because
No.
I was playing on Jones Dairy today, and they're fine. But he said he fixed it for 1.3 before he
Oh.
released it.
Yeah, so the map that we're playing, it was fine before, and after it's all the grass color.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with. I'm sure it's something that's the textures or something. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was saying
Guys.
they had like green. Somebody was saying they had green manure in their, their animal heap. But then I checked on this map and we didn't get normal color manure. I checked Black Mountain, I had normal color. So I was like, I don't know where that's coming from. I tipped some straw on Ravenport and I had straw color. So I think it has to do with mod maps.
So hopefully we'll see some
Hey
map
Owen,
updates come
what's
out
up?
for fixing that problem.
Yeah, and that's one. I had one little theory that it'd be interesting if the Black Sheep map got rejected because now that 1.3 is official. If they didn't, because it got rejected because they didn't have the code in there for paintable grass or something else that was a result of 1.3. Yeah. It's like, don't judge the map based on the release version when it was submitted. Judge the base map on the release version that it is while it's still in testing. But it's like, let's change the rules on you 3/4 of the way through your degree.
Well, for efficiency point, I mean, if they knew they were going to release this, if they knew this was the date they were going to release the patch, they should have just sent all the maps back and been like, hey, go ahead and build it this way because by the time we get to it, we left before I could say goodbye.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they gave at least the prominent modders early access with some kind of NDA or something, so they're able to work on mods for the next version before it's actually out.
And I'm just thinking like from an efficiency point, just been like, oh, we got 8 mod maps that have been submitted prior to 1.3. Why don't we just go ahead and contact the mod author and be like, hey, just go ahead and update this for 1.3, and then you don't have to worry about it. But no, we're going to test it, and then we're going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't work, and we're going to send it back, and then we're going to test it again. I don't.
You want to put something in that we could plant with that Lemkin since it's bigger?
Yeah, I was looking at that. What do you think of sunflowers?
They paid pretty good the last time, as long as we can get a. But we can wait now for a decent price. It's pretty much anything in the silo we can just sell once we see a decent price.
We want to go through and flurry that cloud field first, so we could actually see what we're flurrying.
Yeah, we're still working on this barley field.
Yeah.
I see they also updated Casio again.
What was that?
I think we had somebody come in and take off, man.
Yeah, I thought who it was. joy of having 2 screens now. He did that the last time I was streaming too.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got a new setup a couple weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, like kid.
I noticed after the patch they also fixed Lapaccio again for another up.
Oh yeah, that was for the paintable grass and instead of fuel.
Yeah, you see, they knew they were going to do that, so they went ahead and fixed their map.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking, I was kind of wondering earlier stream if there was maybe something in 1.3 that was needed for greenhouses to work in general. Yeah, the day after they release 1.3, they do the greenhouses, the beehive. If that was just mere happenstance, or if there was somehow something in 1.3 that was needed. Like the Farmer Andy greenhouses, they didn't work unless you had 1.3.
So he must have knew something too.
And like Stevie was apparently posting about how he was working on greenhouses, but was holding off on releasing them, and then they show up the same day that Giants greenhouses show up. It seemed a little weird.
Somebody's got the inside scoop.
So conspiracy planning. Hey, CV Kurt, what's up?
Well, I was watching a thing on, was it CLP was doing the update on 1.3, and he was saying about the grass, that modded maps wouldn't work for part of you know, when you put the grass patch down, you got the growing grass.
That's good enough.
Modded maps wouldn't have that.
Yeah, there's some code you need to add. There's a post on the Giants forums on how to do it. It's pretty straightforward. And of course, I figure going forward there'll be fixed on it. Uh-oh. Sitting in the road.
Well, Mr. CLP also said, like, he does only play on PS4, and he said he wasn't sure about the PC type, you know, because he didn't know, so he didn't really say much on it.
Yeah.
But for the PS4, you know, that's what he was.
Yeah. So sadly, the PS4 folks are going to have to wait on the mod author to update the map to support planted grass. Yeah, I've heard that the Michigan map has some issues after the update, but I don't really know what those are. Alright, let's put some slurry on this plowed field.
So I can't get this limpkin to connect to the caterpillar.
Yeah, I didn't use it the other day. Yeah, I
thought I used it the other day.
Definitely changed this color. I get that brown. I have the glossy wet.
Oh, you guys got the big cat?
To shine on.
cheap horsepower.
It is. I tell you what, I don't think a lot of people realize it, but like the big buds are pretty cheap horsepower. It's like a 200,000 and you get a 400 horsepower tractor. It's actually pretty cheap. They're big and cumbersome.
I don't know what the slurry texture looks like during the day, but it looks pretty cool at night. Yeah, I don't know what the issues are. I think the mod author is looking into it. We're just putting slurry down because it's free. And when we run out of slurry, we're going to do the manure. And those that may have been watching the stream the other night when we were doing manure and I was doing endless buckets, I realized after the stream that I had a manure fork. It was over in another shed. It's got a little higher capacity. Alright, let's go get another load. You can definitely see where he's been because now it's no longer sheeny. No longer has the sheen. Alright. I think we got one more load of slurry and then we'll be out.
Speaking of maps, looks like Mr. Castle's making some progress on his.
Feeling a little creative.
CCS is doing on Normal Coast.
You know, they said he had to basically repaint the whole farmland layer. Did something stupid there. And I think he got sick again.
Poor guy, he just can't catch a break this year.
Scourge of kids.
Yeah, tell me about it. 9-year-old, he was home. He finally went back to school today. Now the older boy, he's sick, but he's a tough kid. My older one, and he's a tank. He's just like, I feel like junk. but I'll be okay. It's like, oh, okay. The little one, he likes to be coddled and pampered.
Oh yeah. Our youngest is a mama's boy for sure. Except she used to complain about how he was always with her, never leave her alone so she could watch her own shows, whatever. And last month or so he's taken a liking to going into his room and laying on his bed and watching his phone. She's sitting in the bed watching her shows, all depressed. Boys over in his room and not choosing to spend time with her. I said, "Oh, isn't this ironic?" But apparently, at some point during the night, he'll decide that it's time to go over there. And he makes this grand entrance into the bedroom, and he's like, "Do you know what time it is?" She's like, "What?" Like, "It's mommy time."
Yeah, my 11-year-old, he's got that preteen attitude all of a sudden. Just, doesn't want to talk to you. When you ask him questions, it's one-word answers.
Yeah.
Typical.
Or everything's I don't know.
I don't know. How was your day? It was okay. Well, what was good about it? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself, we've all been there.
We had fajitas for dinner earlier this week. And today was church night for him, which is usually the youngest gets a Happy Meal and the oldest just makes something. And so it was going to be leftovers for us. So I figured, okay, we had some leftover fajitas, so I was going to have that. So I pulled it out of the fridge and I looked on the counter for the the shells or whatever. They're not on the counter. So I'm like, where's the tortilla shells and whatever? And all she says is, I don't know. I'm like, well, they're either on the counter or they got put somewhere. And then Mom's like, why are you saying you don't know? You know exactly where they went because you ate them. Ate cheese quesadillas with them. So why can't you just tell them that you ate them and that's where they are, not just, I don't know where they are.
They gone done disappeared.
They did.
Kid.
Hey DJ, what's up?
Yeah, they always amaze me.
As my grandmother used to say, the belly monster got them, huh?
Belly Monster, never heard that one.
My mom had, she raised 9 of us, a lot of kids, but she swore she had 2 more named I Didn't Do It and I Don't Know. She said she had 2 more kids, because every time she had asked you, what happened? Well, I didn't do it, or I don't know.
Cosby had a skit about that a long time ago. I forget the details of it.
Yep. He talks about his son having brain damage.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Yeah. I love that guy's comedy. Hate how his life ended up, but
Alright, so when this tank's empty, we're out of slurry.
the second layer on that field?
Yeah, looks like I'll be able to get about half of it. Then I'll switch over
Okay.
to the poo.
Too bad we don't have that auto-loading belt anymore.
Well, I did endless loads of buckets of manure last stream, and then I realized that we've got a manure fork that has a little bit bigger capacity. Oh man, it won't take long.
Yeah, at least it's not a big manure spreader.
DJ, whose are they? Lots of folks are making maps for 19. If you're referring to Giants, I don't know.
It's got some horses up
They might make one for their add-on, their expansion. It's got chickens too. That's not it. Oh no! I might have to switch tractors. You got the arms, right? Leave them.
No, I took them off. They should be there.
See if they're over here. There they are. Bumps claw.
I'm gonna need to get some more seed. Do you know if we have any down at the shop?
I didn't buy seed last time, so I didn't put any down there. So if there's any down at the shop, then it would be for purchase you did.
Yeah, I noticed that last time I was down there. There was a bunch of seed and stuff. I was like, what the heck?
Community seed at the shop.
Now, can someone else use it?
Pretty sure. Oh wait, this has got less capacity than the bucket. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get the bucket out. Put this thing over here. Let's go get the bucket. I was pretty sure the fork had a higher capacity than 17. There we go. I don't know. I kind of like the engine sounds. I know it makes it quieter. But something else that I don't like about the update is you have to choose either between loader arms or a 3-point on the front. You can't have both. Whereas you can't have both with the old version. Hey, Wiki Farms, what's up? Back to loading manure with the bucket.
I just got 53,000 out of the soybeans this time.
Nice.
I'll almost cut your loan in half.
Almost.
I have not. I haven't found any type of small tractor. I think there was one out, but it had like scaling issues, as far as I know. It almost looked like somebody took a 6R or 6M and just made it like half the size. So, East Bridge Hill's loaded for me. I got it from modhub.us. Now I loaded it with pretty much no mods. And it was kicking back 5 or 6 farmland ID errors. So I just got out of it at that point.
Is there wait? Can I sell loose straw on the map?
Yeah, I think they were selling it at the those sell points.
Cool, thanks.
Oops. I mean, you can look in the log while you're trying to load up the map and see if you get some type of prompting. That would help you figure out where the problem is.
What do we got? One more week on this?
Week and a half. I think that was a very good idea. Oh, that one's not near as good to see. That one's a lot harder to see. Slurry on plowed field is a lot easier to see than newer.
Yeah, this slurry at night is really easy. It's very glossy.
It's the utility key. Or just open up your Farm Sim 2019 folder. And there's a log text file in there. Oh, we still have to cultivate that field. Oh, well, we need to fertilize it too. What am I thinking? I don't know if we're going to have enough manure to fertilize this one twice.
So that field has been done once already with slurry, it looks like it.
Yes, it has, because
So
I did it.
you're getting the second stage of fertilizer with that manure.
Shouldn't get it because I put slurry on it right after I harvested.
Maybe it's counting twice because it's two different fertilizer types. Want sunflowers in there too?
Sure. Trifecta of sunflowers.
Yeah, I think this next time around I'm just gonna plant everything in corn. Night stainless.
Yeah, corn yields pretty good.
Pays pretty good too. I'm just doing soybeans so I don't have to go through as much seed. You know, it kind of all equals out in wash. But time-wise, soybeans kind of save time.
I think canola uses a lot less seed. All right, well, let's see how much. It's good enough there, so we got to do this area. All right.
Growth control. Playing around with it a little bit.
I can never get it to work with multiple fruit types.
Oh, you're still running into problems with that?
Yeah, so it'll go through and it'll adjust all the base game fruit types, growth times, but it does not seem to adjust anything for the non-base game stuff.
I haven't tried that. I've just been messing with the yields to try to make them a little more realistic.
Oops, what am I doing?
Kind of.
And you added the extra crops to the growth control config file?
Yep. I even pulled it out of directly out of the map fruit types file, and it just would never go through and add to the growth control GUI.
Oops. Go.
Yeah. Started playing with that cattle breeds mod. Put that in Jones Dairy.
Yeah, how's it working?
So far, I bought Holsteins with it, and I had 12 Holstein cows, and I think it's been less than 2 game days, and they've already produced like 8,000 liters out of just 12 cows. I want to try out the Angus ones, like the beef cattle ones. But with the growth control, I'm trying to tweak it where, I don't know, from what I've been reading, usually corn yields more bushels per acre than like wheat and barley. But in game, it doesn't. So, to adjust it.
Where'd
Yeah.
you get the cow breed mod?
Can't remember. Was it Nexus? Was it?
I think I linked it. I think it's Mod Hub US.
It
I was
is.
thinking-
It's a mod hub upload.
I was thinking those, yeah, like the beef cows would be cool for a one of those outside open range areas.
That's
Yeah.
exactly my plan.
Yeah, the dairy cows in the the more dairy type building. And you stick the beef cows just in some random cube.
Yeah, I may put that on my server and play with that a bit.
And the prices are different for the cows. Like the Angus are the most expensive. They're over 5,000 per cow. But then when you sell them back, you get way more money.
All right, check you later,
The Holsteins,
Jonathan.
You pay like 3,900 for them, but you only get 900 per cow when you go to sell them. And I haven't tried selling the Holstein or the Angus. I can't remember how much you get. This is all on hard mode too, so I don't know if the prices adjust. I say Farm Recliner when I have a video here.
The one that we're currently playing with adds, it takes the different colors essentially of the animals and multiplies them to where one model will be equal to either 5, 10, 25, or 100 of that animal. And then the cows are actually split to where they will produce either more manure or more milk.
Yeah, I think this mod just kind of it doesn't have the numbers thing, which I thought was nice. But it seems like they've expanded on the functionality of each cow. So I'm pretty sure the Angus don't produce any milk. If I remember right. If I remember reading right, I can't.
Yeah, some are pure beef, some are milk producers. Lots have different reproduction rates compared to base and compared to each other. And certain cows, like maybe Holsteins, drink more water, or they have a higher TMR requirement than others. So it's like each color of cow is a different breed, and each breed has the potential to have slightly different feeding requirements and output requirements, and everything. I plan on a video, but it's going to be next week.
I think for realism's sake, like if I do beef cattle, I'm not going to feed them TMR. I'll just feed them haylage out of the harvester.
Alrighty, let's go do another load. Later, Genetic.
Wish you could feed them corn. Just that.
Should be a simple XML edit.
Yeah. Instead of TMR, you can put corn in there. Or maybe to get 100%, like you get 75% for hay and 25% for corn instead of grass.
That way they can have E. coli.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's beef cattle for you. Don't They feed them corn at the finishing king lots. Fatten them up. So you fill out a bracket, Clive?
I forgot. Is it still open?
It might be. I think it's open till tomorrow. I think it is open till tomorrow. You should pick Virginia.
Then it wouldn't be random from a completely uneducated perspective.
You can just say that, you know, just root for the home team. Who's purple?
If he's down by the sawmill, yeah. Ah, 15 minutes and we'll have daylight.
The Fast Night mod is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. It's one of the best mods from multiplayer, I'd have to say.
Crazy part is it's not intended for multiplayer to begin with. I had to tweak it.
Just you should release it.
Pretty sure I had to go in and say multiplayer true, and then when I added it to server, it wanted to stick to the default values. It didn't want to take the values I put in.
Yeah, I was playing around with XML today. I'm trying to edit a lawnmower to not drop grass and to delete the bushes.
Well, you don't want it to do much, do you?
I've got it to where it won't drop grass, and I think I may be able to. So what I'm doing is I'm Frankensteining it. I'm taking the wild grass mod, has in its Lua, it has like a delete bushes thing, or delete foliage, I can never say that word, layer. It's actually in the script when you use that wild grass mod. And I'm trying to apply it to the mower. That way you could have like a real bush hog. Just
Alright, one more partial load and we are going to be
a lot of
done
times
manure.
I want to mow stuff to make it look neat, but I don't want to pick up all the swaths. That's actually not hard to do. You just turn swaths to false in the XML. I think it'll do it on any mower.
Didn't one of the stump grinders have that in it at one time? Take out bushes and...
I don't know that stump grinder. Like I said, I know the wild grass mod. Like when you run a seeder over the bushes, it deletes the bush. And of course, plowing deletes the bush.
Yeah, well, in 17, the Black Sheep modding had that plow / stump grinder.
Oh, the Rybod or whatever that thing was.
Yeah.
That thing was awesome.
Uh-oh. Alright, well, I don't think we're going to do a whole load. We'll just do a partial load. I'll keep you guys here until we get daylight. Won't take too terrible long. Because at 9 p.m. the server's going to flip to 120x. It's going to stay there until 6 a.m. Unload.
I see
Loads.
Farmer Andy updated that trailer pack. EPT pack.
Does it say what he changed?
I think something about the wool pallets, and something with the auto load.
Yeah, so I had an issue with the smaller one, truck flat decks, not wanting to load the viable egg pallets.
But there was that, and then he changed something about brand. I can't.
Oh, is that the Flegel trailers? That's by some guy named D. Hoff.
I assumed it was Farmer Randy because it was on his site.
Oh, it's over on there too.
I thought it was.
I got away from those auto load trailers, and now that we have them forks that kind of let things go, you know.
I did a bunch of bales using that prairie cane today. It was fun, actually. I'm gonna do manual loading. That thing's fun to use.
Well, the forks where the collisions vanish and things just drop out of them.
Yeah, you did a log view on them.
Get the brainchild on the server. Those.
Well, you did say it was going to be a hit.
I have them downloaded. I just haven't used them yet.
I just-
Creature habit.
I just imagine if they could make their way to console, how much people would jaw drop over them.
I can see the CLEP special now.
So you're trying to convince me to submit it for testing?
I want to convince everybody to make something to submit it for testing. Rockhound is, I think, flabbergasted at the number of downloads he's got now of his lighted bunker.
Console market's a huge market.
You probably didn't think there were that many copies of 19 sold.
wonder how many they did sell.
Hopefully that's enough.
Worldwide, I'm going to say 20 million, probably.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah. Yeah, lots of downloads just in a period of 48 hours.
Now, do they get paid by Giants, anything?
Yeah, they get some pennies per download. I think the pay rate is based on star rating also. Oh, let's see. Right about here, okay. Somewhere right there, I think. Oh, one more minute to go, and then we fast forward to morning.
Yeah, I think I got spoiled with seasons. I can't wait until I complete.
Yeah, same. I think everybody did. It's just a whole different game.
Here we go. Now we're at 120. Night's gonna fly through now.
How the ride controls are and stuff now, I think with the seasons it'll make it a little bit more interesting. You know, you might actually get ice footage.
I just see that, like, you can see Realist was talking about doing hay different built into the season. I'm just curious to see what else they put in it this time.
There we go. Go put this away.
Yeah, because I love, like, the animal production where they only produced animals a certain time of year. All that stuff is all awesome.
Yeah, the reproduction on certain phases, and then of course they ate different amounts during different parts of the year.
Yep. They produce different amounts.
It's after midnight. Next thing we know, it's going to be 6 a.m.
Stored enough for over the winter months, so.
Yeah, it made it more of a strategy kind of game instead of just a rinse and repeat game, which is what it is right now. Still addicted to it.
Let's clean up this. And dump it. Let's see how many pigs we got. All right, 79. Here. Turn it on. Yep. All right, let's go. You know what? See, the other tractor works better on the cedar.
The wider tires get more grip.
$5 a.m. Almost 6.
I was trying to hook up this cat to it
Whoa!
earlier, but it just, for some reason, wouldn't connect. I could swear that I used this seed before, but
So you're just gonna, on the next map, Klein, you're just gonna pay people to harvest chaff, is that?
I was gonna basically pay farmers to plant chaff, or plant corn, and work the fields for the corn growth. And then I was going to probably end up hiring for some labor to help haul the chaff. And then I was going to just fill the bunker. Put chaff in the bunker and compact it and level it and all that, and then sell it. And selling it would be my profit. Yeah, I would pay the farmers to plant what would be my corn in their fields. So they do all the planting and the field work for fee. The fee's got to be high enough that it's in their favor to do that versus put their own crops in the ground. But I wanted to basically run the BGA without actually owning any land.
I like it.
Alright, let's go to town. So it's coming up with the how much do I pay per hectare. That is good enough for the farmer, but not too high that I then don't make any money off the silage.
I guess you'd have to figure out what the yield is for. The yield is for chaff.
Yeah, that would require research. Just gonna wing it.
I think someone already did it. The yield per acre for chaff. Oh, that's not what it's.
Go. Now we're back to 6 a.m. and we're 1x speed again. Hey, Robert, what's up? We're just about ready to close her out, actually. A little bit over our normal 2-hour window.
Are you gonna keep most of the same mods? I know a lot of these work.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe updated versions, I guess.
Yeah. Let's think about putting that Scantia, whatever. Apparently I say it wrong every time. The cliff truck.
Definitely put this Mercedes Benz back in there. Love this thing.
Alright guys, well I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it there. We're going to finish out planting the field. Now I'm going to head off to bed. So tomorrow night we're going to be back streaming. Not sure what we're going to do. Got a feeling we're going to do something other than Farm Sim though. Just watch for that to be scheduled up. Until next time, happy farming.